Yeah. Everybody sing. It's French. There's a race in France to which you've got to go. They're in for 24 hours, that's long, you know. The Circuit de la Southern exactly slow. On the Mulsanne straight you can get a tow. But not from the RAC, from the ACO. Let me tell you about it. The ACO, I'm in love with the Le Mans and the ACO. The ACO, I'm in love with Le Mans and the ACO. Oh, everybody say, oh. Welcome to Gareth Jones on Speed. I'm Gareth Jones.
I'm Zog.
And I'm Richard Porter.
We have to mention a small motor racing event which took place in June. Nothing that significant though, fellas.
Would that be the 24 Hours of Le Mans?
Oh, this is this new thing, isn't it? Yeah, I've heard about it.
It's going to catch on, I think.
I think it could do, yeah.
But what about that Audi then, Richard and Zog?
That there Audi, what did win, which was diesel powered. Interesting.
Yes. You going to rush out biodiesel now then?
Let me think about that. No. I still think... interesting, and maybe it'll make diesels better, and they're getting better all the time. Brilliant marketing thing for Audi.
Yeah.
But if you like proper driving, I still think petrols are better, because you don't run out of answers just at the moment you want it. I like a bit of reviness, and... diesels don't rev. But I do quite like the fact that they're, the good lazy fat boy cars. If you want to stick it in third and drive everywhere like a minicab, then jobs are good. Which I'm sure is what they did to win Le Mans. Just stick it in fifth from the off, and then
off they went.
Got a CD hanging from.
I think the engine actually only turned over 13 revs from the start of the race to the end of the race.
One of the interesting things, of course, is that this raises the question of where do Audi go from here? Because they've dominated Le Mans with the R8. The first year they've introduced their diesel car, they've come out and won with it, which is, as you say, fantastic for marketing diesel cars. But where do they take it from here?
I think the next logical step is to take a leaf out of Volvo's book, circa 1993, for Le Mans estate car.
Three-wheeler.
Yeah,
Audi's Le Mans estate car, three-wheeler. Remember where you heard it first. We'll be hearing more from Richard a little bit later on. In the meantime, the main business of this show is GP2. Zog, you a fan?
Absolutely. And we've got interviews with two of the top three drivers in the series at the moment. It's shaping up to be a very exciting series in its second year now.
Yeah, it replaces Formula 3000, and it's been getting some great press as well. There's been some wonderful stuff written about GP2 saying that the racing there is so good because you've got hungry drivers, which you don't really have in Formula 1, they say.
And, of course, one of the most exciting hungry drivers that we've seen in F1 recently is Nico Rosberg, and he came straight from GP2. He won the series last year, and it looks like Lewis Hamilton, very exciting British driver, is going to do the same this year. And you caught up with him recently for a quick word.
Yep, I was at the British Grand Prix and had a quick chat with Lewis just before the start of the race on Saturday. And I put it to him that he was doing very well in GP2, but it looked like it was probably a very tough series.
It is at the moment. It's going very well. It's a tough season, obviously, for us for me. Because my first season in GP2, there's a lot of drivers here that have done they're in their second year. So it's a steep learning curve, but it's going really well so far, and I'm in the best position. I've got a great team behind me, and a great teammate as well. So it makes everything not easier, but better in terms of working. I
just spent the last 6 months with Alex Premat in A1 Grand Prix as he became the first world champion, if you like, the inaugural winner of the World Cup of Motorsport. And of the many drivers in A1, Alex is arguably the finest. And yet you're showing him the way around here. So you've got to be reasonably good. How competitive is Alex, and how much do you guys share? Do you share in this team?
Yeah, well, all the data's shared. Obviously, in every team, they share all the data. So if I'm quicker than him in practice, he will see where I'm quicker, and then he'll be able to catch up a little bit. But then it's always a case of where you have to just keep raising your game, and it's a very difficult thing to do because when you're already there, when you're at the top. But he's very quick, and so to stay ahead of him is tough. But at the moment, I'm managing to do it, and I hope that in the race today we'll be able to do it as well.
You know your way around this place probably better than anywhere, or you'd probably say you know your way around Monaco better than here now, wouldn't you?
No, you'll be surprised, but I've never raced here before.
Really? Didn't you do it in Formula Renault? Or no, you didn't, did you?
I raced the international circuit in Formula Renault, but that's you use Bridge and the Beckett's and Brooklands, all that. But I miss the rest of the track. So it's completely new for me, really.
And go on, give me a 20-second answer. Everyone's talking about you being in an F1 car next year.
I hope so. It's going to be, and it's a tough step. And but I need to win in GP2 first. That's the key. Winning as much as possible. Come away with the championship would be perfect, and I'm sure it'll help me elevate into Formula 1.
You know, you're the next big British driver, but with a name like Lewis, I'd argue that you could be Welsh. No Welsh in the family?
Absolutely not, no.
Oh, you got a Welsh name, you realise that?
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
No, Louis is Welsh.
No, Lewis, Lewis, it means sleeve.
I never even knew that, so...
Lewis, thanks for talking to me, man. Diolch yn fawr iawn, as we say in Wales. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, I like the way, Gareth, that you're trying to claim another driver for Wales there.
I'm desperate. I'll take anyone, especially Lewis Hamilton. Lewis.
He was almost persuaded, I think. You know, you almost had him there.
I've got some further evidence as well, because Lewis wasn't the only GP2 driver I interviewed while I was there. I also interviewed Alex Premat, who's his teammate in ART, and Alex refers to him as Lewis. He calls him Lewis, so it must be
Lewis,
Welsh.
as in Lois Lane?
Yeah. Lewis is the Welsh pronunciation of Lewis, is he? Lois Lane, close. Maybe Lois Lane's Welsh too.
Oh, bit of a revelation.
Alex Premat's interview coming up a little bit later, right here in Gareth Jones on Speed.
This is Sniff Petrol. The headlines. Homeless TVR finds a new solution to keep car building in Blackpool.
Roll up, come and build a TVR. £1 a chassis, £5 to lay up the glass fibre body and trim the interior.
There are angry scenes at the NEC Arena as thousands of Lenny Kravitz fans realise they've been sold tickets to see Ted Kravitz.
Hello, Birmingham. Well, an interesting tyre choice there. Ferrari are definitely going for a one-stop strategy. I just had a word with one of their engineers. He told me that they expect to put in 40 kilograms of fuel. That's it. Rubbish. What? Oh. Listen, please.
And we bring you exclusive reaction to the British Grand Prix.
Intelligent motorsport comment. This is Gareth Jones on Speed.
Returning to the GP2 theme, Gareth, another driver, of course, who's made it from GP2 into Formula 1 is Neel Jani.
Yep.
But he made it as a test driver, not a race driver, which is why maybe not so many fans will have heard his name. But an interesting thing about Neel, of course, is that he comes from a country, Switzerland, where motor racing is completely banned.
Yeah, they did attempt to repeal that recently, didn't they? It went through the Swiss Parliament, where they considered changing the law, and it was rejected. So it remains banned in the nation he's from. Now, I got to know Neel quite well. I spent the last 6 months with him on A1 Grand Prix, where he was the chief driver for A1 Team Switzerland. And his commitment to Toro Rosso meant that he left A1 for the last two races and was replaced by Giorgio Mondini, and who himself is a test driver for Midland. But Neel went off to Scuderia Toro Rosso to drive on Fridays. I hadn't spoken to Neel for a while because he was off doing Scuderia Toro Rosso stuff.
Doing his day job.
Yeah. And then he was snatched from Scuderia Toro Rosso back to GP2 to fill in the Arden team, replacing the injured Nicolas Lapierre, who hurt his vertebra, I believe, at Monaco.
Yeah.
So Neel returned to GP2 and had a bit of a tough time, but it was nice to catch up with him. Neel, it's nice to see you. I didn't recognise you in those colours. It's been a good year for you, hasn't it? A1 worked out all right, and then you were snatched away to do some Toro Rosso stuff. How do you stay focused when you're having to switch between A1 and F1 and GP2?
Well, this weekend was the first time I drove GP2 since last year, October. And the car changed quite a bit with slicks and less downforce, but it was quite difficult to adapt. But in the end, yesterday was a hard day. Switching between F1 and GP2 on the same day. But the F1 I managed quite well, or really well, and the GP2 was less good, but we had some problems on the steering, which we would have solved today. and we were on good course, coming from 22nd. I think we were on 5th nearly, but then a loom broke, and I fell back again.
What's the reaction been like back home, going back to A1, coming second in the championship, which is really all your work? I mean, you put that team there on your own practically, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it was really nice last winter, put it that way. I had a nice time, saw a lot of countries, different girls each country, nice Greek girls, and had a great time and a successful time. And well, I don't know if I will drive next year because we didn't have any talks, nothing, so we'll see.
How long is your contract with Toro Rosso? Is it just for this year, or have you got a promise of things to come?
Well, Formula 1, you always have contracts which are longer, but normally they can kick you out whenever they want, so I don't know how long it is theoretically, or practically.
I've been watching your times in F1 on Fridays, and I know you're getting more laps than the two race drivers, but there must be someone watching how well you're doing at the moment. Any inkling of how it could go?
Well, I can do more laps, but we are the only team which suffers a lack of tires. Normally the Friday driver has a lot of tires to use, but I don't have, because we don't have enough tires. So I have to see with a lot less tires, and I have to concentrate on race simulations. I'm actually never allowed to go for a real cracker of a lap time or whatever, but normally Friday drivers can do. So we can compare always to my teammates more or less. So mostly I'm actually heavier than them. So I'm really happy how it went so far. But, Formula 1, it can change very quickly. You can be top today and flop tomorrow. And most of it is politically. But since I'm in Red Bull, I think they know what they do. And I hope they give me once my chance.
I remember you saying over the winter that you felt A1 driving competitively right the way through the winter was the best possible preparation for F1. Does it work the other way? Is driving an F1 car, does it make coming back to GP2 difficult? Are you braking spots differently, or do you adapt instantly?
Makes life a lot more difficult, because Formula 1 is braking so much later. The grip in the corners is unbelievable, and just the car is a lot more stable. And when I drove to GP2, it was just like skiing on ice. And that was really difficult. But in the end, you need to manage it, and when you're talented, you can also manage it. And I managed it today because we got the setup more or less to adapt it to me. And I think in future it should be possible also to do both successfully on the same weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't get any laps in the GP2 until I was here on yesterday. I drove the first time, so that didn't make it a lot easier.
It seems to me that you're the same guy I've just spent the winter with, despite going through the rigours of Formula 1, which can change a lot of drivers. How has Formula 1 changed you, would you say? I mean, you seem like the same guy to me, but is it have you learned new stuff, a new approach? Do you approach motor racing in a different way now?
Not really. I mean, you always try to be quick. In this case, no more winning, but you try to be quick as I'm a test driver or Friday driver. You just learn a lot more technical things about the car, about setup, how to set up it. You just learn a lot more experience. And the other thing is with Red Bull, you just see so many different girls. I don't do anything because I got a girlfriend. Keep that in mind.
Let's be clear about that, yeah?
Let's be clear about that. But you just get a bigger horizon also there. So it's not just the setup, you have a bigger horizon in the end.
And he was only joking, definitely so. He's got a great girlfriend.
But it does sound like he's having a great time there.
Hey, he's with Scuderia Toro Rosso, and I think they know how to have a great time.
I think, yeah, they look like they're at a party.
Have you seen that thing that they carry around with them?
The big combined energy station.
Energy station, yeah, which is the base for Toro Rosso and Red Bull.
I know it's big.
Do you know how big it is?
Go on.
You know the vehicle assembly building where they used to build the Apollo moon rocket and now the space shuttle?
Which is a pretty big place.
Yeah. They can actually fit the vehicle assembly building inside the energy station. It has its own weather system.
Own government.
And its own time zone. Big.
Quite something. Now, we were talking to Lewis Hamilton earlier, or rather, you were talking to Lewis Hamilton earlier, and now the next interviewee on the show is someone for whom life has been made a little bit hard by little Lewis Hamilton, his teammate, Alex Premat.
Yeah, Premat was the driver for A1 Team France, or one of the two drivers for A1 Team France in the first season. And
they made a very good showing, and he won the championship.
Fantastic.
Great result.
Achievement. A great driver, a real star driver, I think, Premat. And I think he's probably upped his game even further to compete with Lewis Hamilton, who himself is startling.
Yeah, and you have to say that he must be finding life a little bit tough because he's still third in the championship to Lewis Hamilton's first. I think it's about 30 points adrift, maybe, roughly.
Yeah, it's not sure whether being alongside him is doing him good or doing him bad. So I put that question to Alex Premat.
He was really quick, but I am also really quick, and so this is a really good challenge for us because we work a lot together in a truck with the engineer. And I think this is the key of the success in GP2 this year.
I suppose it's a good thing for a racing driver to race a number of different cars before settling on something. I'm not asking what's your favourite car. Do you prefer the GP2 car to the A1 car? But in terms of handling and the personality of the car, you've been very successful in both cars. How do they compare? Do you have to change your driving style?
Yeah, I need to change a little bit my style, my driving style in the GP2 in the fast corner because we need to push really hard to put the gas really early, and on the slow corner we need to brake really very late than A1 GP and to put the gas really early. For example, in the first corner when you test in A1 GP, in the first corner, we pass in 200 kilometers, and in GP2 it's 250. So this is really faster than A1 GP. But anyway, this is a nice car. A1 GP and GP2, this is the both nice car.
You seem to still be enjoying motorsport. I'm sure there comes a point when it stops being quite as much fun as it has been. Why do you love to race cars?
This is my passion. I drove since maybe now for 14 years, and so I want to win every championship and to win the race, to do the pole position, and this is my goal to go in Formula One as soon as possible.
Well, your track record's so very, very, very good, certainly in the last 12 months, that there's a strong chance that could happen. Now, I've got to ask you this. Last year, your teammate was snatched to go and be in a Formula One team, Nico Rosberg. It's probably going to happen at the end of this year, where Lewis Hamilton will get an F1 drive. Why aren't they taking you? Because you're every bit as quick as both those guys.
Yeah, for sure I am also quickest of them, Nico and Lewis, but I think the problem is the economy or something like that. We don't know really because I am French. This is really hard for the moment. This is a synergy, I think so, maybe for the nationality. But I hope to go in Formula One next year and to fight with Nico, to see Nico and Lewis and maybe Nelsino Piquet because he has some entry in Formula One. So I hope to go in Formula One next year to do a good fight with them.
Alex, I've enjoyed watching you race very closely. I shall enjoy watching you race in GP2 today, and thanks for finding time to talk to me.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, Alex Premat, one of many hungry drivers looking to make the jump from GP2 into F1.
We like GP2, don't we?
Yeah, well, it's a great place to see young talent, and there's some great racing. Simple as that.
So, we've got Nico there, Jani's already there. We've got Premat perhaps on his way there. Lewis Hamilton, if he's not there next year, I won't be making this show. Piquet Jr. fancies his chances there as well. These are all big stars. They're going to be in F1 in the next year or two. And remember where you heard it first, on the coolest podcast in your iPod.
In your iPod.
Which one's that then? I love the smell of petrol in the morning.
Sniff Petrol! Sniff Petrol is proud to have its own exclusive interview with Lewis Hamilton. So, Lewis, how are things shaping up for you at the moment?
Oh, it's all going very well, definitely.
Well, it's certainly... Sorry, what did you say?
It's all going very well.
All right, sorry, I thought you said something else. Sorry. So the GP2 car's really going very well at the moment.
Yeah, I'm pleased with everything, definitely.
What?
Nothing.
No, you said definitely.
No, I didn't. Definitely.
No, you see, you just said it again.
No, I didn't.
Jenson, what are you doing?
I'm Lewis Hamilton. Definitely.
Jenson, stop messing about. What's this on your face?
Bisto.
For the love of God, what are you playing at?
I just wanted the media to like me again. I want to be their favourite, definitely.
Fine, all right, well, since you're here... Jenson Button, do you reckon Lewis Hamilton is going to paste you all over F1 next year?
Oh, definitely. Oh, damn.
Meanwhile, at a special racing driver club thing somewhere...
Yes, I was at last night with 2 supermodels. It was excellent party, see?
Yes, for sure. Yesterday I bought another yacht. Oh, yes. Oh, God, here comes Frank Bieler.
Hello, Frank. Well done on winning Le Mans with a diesel.
Yeah, and guess how many kilometres per litre I was getting on the way here.
We don't care.
And this was towing my caravan, of course.
Frank, we really have to go now.
No, wait. Guess how many bags of rubbish I managed to take to the tip in one go yesterday. The boot in this Audi is spacious, yeah?
Bloody diesel drivers. Let's go and buy some Learjets.
No, wait, fellas. Did I tell you about the diesel microparticulate filter we have fitted? Elegant engineering solution. It's fascinating, really. Where's everyone gone? Do you take sugar?
I was in the war, you know.
Do you need your bag changing?
You couldn't get bananas then, you know. I was all different very much in those days, you know.
What sort of hat would you like, sir?
Do you sell trilbies?
Well, of course, the youth of today, they have no respect. Simply haven't at all. It was different under Mr. Attlee.
Haven't humbugs got smaller?
I wear this original. Why, yes, I will. How very kind of you, young man.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. Can you say it again?
This is what a Honda feels like.
I think I've just wet myself.
Just time for some late news. There's confusion in F1 as it appears ITV have inadvertently hired Lenny Kravitz. A blistering stop from McLaren there. Ted, any news? Suspicions grow that Honda's Asimo robot is just a child in a costume. So, how do you charge it up?
Well, it just runs off a regular 240-volt socket.
And crisps.
Quiet, Asimo.
I need a wee.
Shut up, stupid technology.
And there's just time for some further exclusive reaction to the British Grand Prix.
Oh, I thought there was always making it Silverstone again.
Don't worry, dear. It was just a dream.
Gareth Jones on speed!
That's it. In the next Gareth Jones on speed, I'm going to be esoteric. So, Zog, who are you going to be?
I think I'm going to be Lee Van Cleef when he was in the spaghetti western movies.
With the moustache?
Of course.
And Richard Porter from Sniff Petrol, who are you going to be?
In the next podcast, I'm going to be attacked by geese.
Again?
Yeah, I've got to stop carrying goose food around in my pockets.
These are the jokes, folks. We're going to play out once again on the Polish National Anthem because we had an email from a chap, Zog, you've got it there. Can you read his name?
That'll be Dr. B, a displaced Brit listener, is how he describes himself. He says, on the subject of pronunciation, I think that Kubica has one of those little V symbols above the C, little accent that'll be, so it should sound like a TS, not a K. Kubica, then.
So this is a reference to the Polish National Anthem that we did in the last show, in which we sang Robert Kubica, Robert Kubica, Robert. And it's not, it's actually Robert Kubica.
Kubica, yeah.
So we're going to put it right. Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
bye.
Robert Kubica, Robert Kubica, Robert. Robert Kubica, Robert Kubica, Robert. Robert Kubica, Robert Kubica, Robert Kubica, Robert Kubica.
Gareth Jones on Speed was a correctly pronounced production. Dziękuję.